Thank you, Father, and good morning. As Father said, I'm the principal here. My name is Mr. Scicchitano. If you hear somebody say Mr. Schick or Coach Schick or some version of that, that's me, okay? So I'm in my 19th year working at Jesuit, which means that most of you were -4 or -5 when I started working here. I've been a history teacher. I've been a wrestling coach. I've worked in student activities. I've worked in discipline and a lot of other things. But on freshman orientation, what I always really think about and what I try to remember is 26 years ago when I had my freshman orientation. Okay, in the older chapel, a lot has changed about our school since 1997 when I was a 9th grader, but a lot hasn't too. Okay, so more than anything else, what I want you to take away from the next few minutes, and I'll try to be brief, okay, is that today is all about you and about helping you be more comfortable. You're still probably going to be nervous tomorrow morning. You're not going to be completely comfortable yet. That's actually a pretty good thing. All right, a little healthy nerves. It's good for us, right? But hopefully today, you're more comfortable. The pace is slower. You can ask. If at any point today you feel lost, you're confused, you don't know what to do, just find an older guy wearing a blue polo shirt, find a faculty member, find one of us, and just ask. Okay? You know, a camera crew is not going to pop out and say, gotcha, you won't end up on YouTube. You know, this is all about you slowing down and being more comfortable. I just have a few points that I'd like to emphasize. Some of this may be slightly repetitive from what Father Hermes said. If you're paying attention and you're awake and you're like, wow, didn't Father Hermes just say the same thing? That probably means it's important. If you can make that connection, okay? So, as I said, I'll try to be brief. First, welcome to our community. We are a school, but we're a community. We are way more than a school, too, okay? We take care of each other at Jesuit. We have teachers who take care of each other and who take care of their students. We have coaches, your classmates, your teammates. We're a community and we take care of each other. A really good example of that would be these guys. They didn't have to be here today. This is their last day of summer vacation. Most people would probably choose to sleep in on their last day of summer vacation. But they got up extra early to be here before you did to make sure that you could have a great day of freshman orientation. Just a very small example of what I'm talking about. Okay, a bunch of juniors and seniors gave up their last day of summer, their last opportunity to sleep in so that you could have a great freshman orientation day. Second point, leave middle school behind. Later today, you're going to have the opportunity to walk around campus. You'll see almost everything. There are also a lot of things that you won't see around campus. There's no swing sets. There's no slides, right? There's no recess. It's because we're not an elementary school and we're not a middle school, okay? It doesn't matter where you went to middle school. I don't really care, and nobody else does either. Whether you went to a public school, whether you came from a Catholic school, whether you went to a charter school, whether you were homeschooled. That was last year. This is now. You are here. You are a Jesuit Tiger. If you want to be a middle schooler, if you want to relive your glory days of Fortnite dances in 7th grade or whatever you did when you were 11 years old, this is the wrong place for you. You'll learn very quickly that if you act like a middle schooler here, you're going to have a bad time. It's just not going to work, okay? You'll learn very quickly what it means to be a Jesuit Tiger, a Jesuit student, a high school student. My final point, Jesuit is not a sink or swim school. Now, some of you may have had older brothers or dads or grandparents that went here. It was kind of that way a while ago, right? Where basically you got admitted into the school, you showed up, and figure it out. And if you make it, great, but if not, Jesuit's not for everybody. That is not the kind of school we are today. Okay? You are here because you can be successful. I would be really bad at my job. Father Hermes would be really bad at his job. Mr. Matesic wouldn't have a job if he kept bringing kids to the school who couldn't make it, who couldn't be successful. All right? Everything that you need to have success is here for you. The last thing I want you to hear from me is that success is a choice. At Jesuit, success is a choice. Nobody else, your mom, your dad, your brother, your sister, your teachers, your coaches, there's a whole support network of people who are going to do whatever they can to encourage you, to support you, and to help you. But in the end, you have to choose to be successful. What does that mean? Very simply, do your homework, come to school and on time, respect yourself, your classmates, and your teachers. If you can just figure that out, the rest will fall into place. You want to be successful? Choose to be successful. Don't think about it. Maybe I want to be. Choose to be successful. We're a challenging school by design. You will struggle by design. If you don't struggle, if it's not hard for you, you're never going to grow. You'll just be 4 years older, basically still with a middle school education. And that's not why you're here. I'm very fortunate in my role as principal. My job is to make sure that you and your teachers have everything that they need to be successful. Okay? There's a tremendous number of people who work really hard behind the scenes and sometimes on the front lines to make sure that you have everything you need. Okay? I'm going to ask them as I introduce them to you momentarily. They're going to come up and just wave. Truthfully, you'll probably forget their names like in 4 hours, but that's okay. I just want you to associate a face with a name and a role. Academics. We're a school first. We're very fortunate and blessed to have maybe the best assistant principal for academics, I think, in the entire network of Jesuit schools. She's phenomenal. Okay, her son went here. She's a great chemistry teacher. She actually was my chemistry teacher when I was a student here. This is Mrs. Pacheco. If you have any, go ahead, clap for Mrs. Pacheco. Her office is in Gonsmart Hall. Okay, I'm going to ask these two guys to come up together. Okay, Mr. Greenfield and Mr. Lasaro. Their responsibility is to make sure that everyone does what they're supposed to do. Okay, discipline does not mean setting booby traps for you to fall on your face. Okay, discipline means knowing what you're supposed to do, being where you're supposed to be to the best of your ability. Okay, and their job is to make sure you understand that. Okay, they're in charge of discipline. Mr. Mitchell. Mr. Mitchell is our director of campus ministry. He organizes, along with Mr. Freeman, he will meet in a second, Convocation every day. All right, his office is in Building 1. Mr. Freeman is the director of student activities. He's the cruise director. He gets to say yes or maybe a lot. Okay? Mr. Freeman's job is to make sure that it's fun for you to come to school. More on that to come. Coach Rupp is our athletic director. Okay, we've got some good sports teams. You may have heard. Coach Rupp oversees our athletics department. He's a Jesuit legend. Mr. Dovin is our freshman guidance counselor. You will get to know him a lot. Very important that you get to know Mr. Dovin. His office is in the counseling center. He's the freshman guidance counselor. The last person who will now take it over for me is the student council president. He's a senior. You will literally hear from him and see him every day, right over there, reading announcements and leading the school in the Pledge of Allegiance. It's Jake Killian.